Position 1. Position 1 is utilized by the ball boy on the baseline on the serving player's side. Ball boys use this position immediately after the point has finished. Position 2. Position 2 is enacted by ball boys on the baseline on the serving player's side as well as the returning player's side. Position 2 is used after Position 1 for ball boys on the serving player's side and immediately after the point has completed for the ball boys on the returning player's side. Position 3. Position 3 is a neutral position, with the ball boy simply standing upright with both hands behind their back. Position 3 is used by all ball boys at the baseline as well as ball boys at the net. For ball boys on the baseline, Position 3 is used immediately after Position 2. For ball boys at the net, Position 3 is used when they are standing next to the chair umpire's seat, as well as right before they are retrieving a ball that has been rolled to them by a ball boy from the baseline. Lastly, Position 3 is used by ball boys that stand adjacent to the players' benches when there is a changeover. Position 4. Position 4 is used strictly by the ball boys at the net when they are positioned on the end of the net opposite the chair umpire's seat. In Position 4, ball boys at the net put one knee on the ground, with the other leg up and the foot lining up with the knee on the ground. This looks like a runner's stance when they are in the down position. This allows for the ball boy to quickly explode out of the position and retrieve the ball. Ball boys position their arms straight down, with both arms being in line with the middle part of their thigh on the leg that is up. Ball boys must be quick out of Position 4 to retrieve a ball that has struck the net in order for play to quickly resume. Position 5. Position 5 involves the ball boy holding the towel to give it to the player. The ball boy holds the towel in both hands at two ends of the towel. This gives the player enough space to grab the towel without the ball boy interfering with this, as well as allowing the player to grab the towel to their liking. Position 6. Position 6 involves rolling the ball from one ball boy to another ball boy. Rolling the ball is similar to bowling. Ball boys at the net use Position 6 the most. Position 6 is used by ball boys at the net to return the ball to the ball boy on the baseline. Ball boys on the baseline use Position 6 when they are on the returning side, and they must roll the ball to the net ball boy in order for it to return back to the serving side. Ball boys on the serving side use Position 6 when a game has finished and the players do not change sides. To perform Position 1, the ball boy must have their throwing arm up and in line with their body, and their non-throwing arm out in front and adjacent to their body. To throw the ball boy bends their arm back and then begins moving their arm forward and finishing with his straight arm. The ball boy then grabs a ball from their non-dominant arm, and the throwing arm remains rigid while going all the way up. The ball boy only has one ball in their throwing arm at one time, while holding all the other balls with their non-throwing arm. Transitioning from Position 1 to Position 2 is only necessary for ball boys on the serving player's side. To transition from Position 1 to Position 2, a ball boy must throw the last remaining ball and then bring their throwing arm down by their side and slightly adjacent to their body. To perform Position 2, the ball boy has both arms down by their side, extending slightly out from their body. Both hands should be open with fingers together. If there is a ball in their hand, they hold the ball by holding it between their thumb and the palm of their hand. For children with smaller hands, this may be difficult, so it is acceptable for them to use their whole hand to hold the ball. Position 2 must be held by ball boys on the serving player's side and returning player's side until the server has begun bouncing the ball. Transitioning from position 2 to position 3 is necessary for all ball boys on the baseline. To perform the transaction, the ball boy takes both hands from the front of their body to the back of their body, with arms being held down with a slight bend. A good height for the hands would be slightly below the small of their back. To perform position 3, ball boys must hold it for the entirety of the point. They must be quick out of the position and go back into position 1 if they are a ball boy on the baseline on the serving side, or quickly into position 2 if they are a ball boy on the baseline on the returning player's side. Again, if a ball boy has one or more balls, they should hold one ball with their throwing arm and all other balls with their non-throwing arm. This allows for a quick transition back to position 1 if necessary. To perform position 4, the ball boy must push off the foot that is up. This allows for a quick explosion and allows the ball boy to retrieve the ball quickly. To perform position 6, the ball boy takes one step with each foot facing forward, spreading the feet a bit wider than their shoulders and bending the front knee and their back knee slightly. The ball boy then lowers their upper body while raising their rolling arm well above the head. The ball boy keeps their whole body still while the rolling arm begins to drop down in a swinging motion. The ball boy brings their hand close to the ground and releases the ball when the rolling hand lines up with the front foot. The ball boy continues moving the arm forward with it finishing above their head. If the ball boy has more than one ball, they again take one step each per foot and repeat the rolling motion. The ball boy only holds one ball at a time with their rolling arm and all other balls with their non-rolling arm. The ball boy grabs another ball after they have finished the rolling motion. We will now take a look at ball boys using the positions we have learned in match play. Specifically, we will be looking at examples from the Australian Open. In the first picture, the point has just finished. By the time the server has turned around, the two ball boys have assumed position 1 and ready to throw the ball to the player. The ball boys will throw the ball with one bounce and aiming for a height at the player's waist. In this picture, the server has already received the balls and has just walked up to the line to serve. The two ball boys in the back are still in position 2 because the server has not begun bouncing the ball yet. Here, the ball boy in the back is in position 3 because the player has already bounced the ball and is now in his service motion. In this photo, we can see that the net ball boy is in position 4 since they are on the side of the net opposite the chair umpire's seat. Here, the ball boy has thrown the last ball, and before it has even hit the ground, they are in position 2. Take note that the player does not always ask for every ball, which means the ball boy will still be in position 1. Whatever the case, as soon as the player turns away, the ball boy enters position 3 and walks very slowly behind the player, waiting for them to hit a ball back. Notice here that as the player turns away, the ball boy enters position 3 and is moving slowly behind the player, waiting for the player to give back one of the 3 balls. The ball boy must make sure that they know the player has 3 or more balls, because if the player has 2 balls, they will not give any back, which means then that the ball boy does not need to walk behind the player waiting for a ball to be hit back. This is a photo of the returning player. The ball person in the back has assumed position 2 to show the net ball boys that they have no balls in their hands. Here, the net ball boy has turned towards the returning side's ball boy in position 3 as they are awaiting for the baseline ball boy to roll the ball to them. Once the ball is halfway between the two ball boys, the net ball boy bends down to receive the ball. The net ball boy will then roll the ball to the ball boy on the serving side. In this picture, notice the ball boy did not give away any balls to the player, which is why they have 3 balls in their hands. They are holding only 1 ball in their throwing hand and 2 balls in their non-throwing hand. Once the player has begun bouncing the balls, the ball boy will go into position 3. In this shot, the server has just lost game point. The ball boys that are on the far side were ball boys for the server, but now they are on the returning side. Instead of entering position 1 after the point has finished, they enter position 2. They then wait for a net ball boy to stand in front of them and ready to receive the ball. Ball boys must roll the balls quickly. A good time between each ball roll is half a second. Since this is a non-changeover game for the players, the balls change sides. In this case, the players are changing sides, so the balls will stay on the same side, unlike the last image where balls needed to change sides since players did not change sides. If you look in the bottom right corner, you'll notice a mnemonic device that will help you to understand where the balls go when a game has finished. Here, the players are changing sides, so the balls must remain on the same side. This is an occasion when the balls take priority over the players. Before the ball boys stand adjacent to the players' benches, they make sure that they have received any balls from the ball boys on the non-serving side or from the net, and then roll those balls to ball boys on the serving side. Now that all the balls have been rolled to the serving side, the net ball boys stand adjacent to the players' benches. The ball boys stand 3 feet from the net on top of the singles line. If the player asks for anything, the ball boys retrieve it for them and then return back to their spot. If it is a doubles match, the 2 ball boys on the baseline nearest the benches also stand adjacent to the players' benches. That way, it is a 1-to-1 ratio of ball boy to player. Take note that even though one player has begun walking to the baseline, the other has not. Because of this, both ball boys remain stationary until both players have left their benches. Now that both players have left their benches, the net ball boys return to their positions. They do not worry about the player's towel, since that is the job of the ball boy on the baseline nearest the player's bench. Here, the net ball boy has a ball in their hand that they needed to roll back to the baseline ball boy. Instead of waiting for the baseline ball boy to finish giving balls or towel to the player, the net ball boy immediately rolled the ball back to the baseline ball boy. If the ball boy were to wait until the player were finished with the baseline ball boy, the ball wouldn't have enough time to roll to the back before the player was on the baseline and ready to serve. Net ball boys must pay attention here. Once the point has finished, they check both ways to see where all the balls are. If a ball has been hit in the net, they retrieve it first before looking both ways. By looking both ways, the net ball boys know where all the balls are every single point. Here, the ball boy is giving the towel to the player just as position 5 says so. They grab at both ends of the towel and extend both arms outward to give the player plenty of space to grab the towel. Once the ball boy has handed over the towel, they quickly enter position 3 as they wait for the player to give it back. After the point has finished and a player asks for the towel, the ball boy must retrieve the towel first before throwing the balls. We will now look at a couple of special cases where things happen rarely. In this first case, the ball has hit the net and rolled back near the baseline. Because of this, it would be faster for the net ball boy to run and stand at the back of the court instead of returning to the net. The net ball boy stands in position 3 on the outside of the baseline ball boy. While the point is happening or before the point has started, the net ball boy hands the baseline ball boy the ball behind their backs. Once the point has finished, the net ball boy immediately runs back to his position at the net. In the second special case, the ball boy is handing the player the towel. They then enter position 3 as we saw earlier. Once the player has given the towel back, the ball boy puts the balls on the player's racket. In this other special case, similar to the last one we just saw, the ball boy has balls in his hands when he hands over the towel. Unlike the last case, however, the player turns away before the ball boy gives the player the balls. The ball boy quickly realizes this and runs back to the wall where they will enter position 2 until the player has begun bouncing the ball. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial and helps you out with your ball boy tryouts or helps ball boy coordinators with a standard system for ball boys to use.